Hello, everyone. I'm Christina, and I haven't exactly been feeling that great for quite like 5 days now, and I don't really know why. But I thought it was only fair that I came online and at least gave you guys a shout out and let you know some of the things that um, have been going on in the world. Found that you might find kind of interesting. So I'm sorry I don't have the energy that I usually do, but I'm sure I'll be fine, right? Just a little bit more rest and maybe some Tylenol, right? But there was something interesting that happened while I was kind of doing my research, and I don't know why, but I came across this thing that happened in 1780, right? And they call it the Dark Day. And what happened was that the sun went black at noon. Okay. Yep. New England's dark day. So we know that's, upper East Coast in the United States. So it happened right here in America. All right. May 19th, 1780, when an unusual darkening of the daytime sky was observed over the New England states and parts of Canada. The primary cause of the event is believed to have been a combination of smoke from forest fires, a thick fog, and cloud cover. But apparently, there's a lot of arguments going on about that, right? Okay. There were some testimonies about what happened that day. All right. And the days preceding it, they said that the sun actually became red first. All right. I want to welcome everyone that is here today. I'm so glad to see everybody. It just makes me feel so much better to see you guys. Puts my spirits up. So maybe I'll start feeling better just from just the love that's coming in. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Second Timothy 3. I'm always glad to see you guys. And I know a lot of people might be at work right about now. Oh, sorry. Okay. This article was published back in, looks like 2018, called May 19th, 1780, Darkness at Noon Enshrouds New England. In the midst of the Revolutionary War, darkness descends on New England at midday. Many people think Judgment Day is at hand. It will be remembered as New England's dark day. Diaries of the preceding days mention smoky air and a red sun at morning and evening. Around noon this day, and early darkness. Let me see here. Let's go down and read a little bit more. Some went to church. Many sought the solace of the tavern, and more than a few near the edges of the darkened area commented on the strange beauty of the preternatural half light. One person noted that clean silver had the color of brass. It was the darkest in northeastern Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire, and southwestern Maine, but it got dusky through most of New England and as far away as New York. At Morristown, New Jersey, General George Washington noted it in his diary. It is the darkest area. People had to take their midday meals by candlelight. A Massachusetts resident noted in some places the darkness was so great that persons could not see to read common print in the open air. In New Hampshire, wrote one person, a sheet of white paper held within a few inches of the eyes was equally invisible with the blackest velvet. It's almost like the day of Moses, a darkness that descended that could be felt, right? Okay. At Hartford, Colonel Abraham Davenport opposed adjourning the Connecticut legislature. Thus, the day of judgment is either approaching or it is not. If it is not, there is no cause of an adjournment. If it is, I choose to be found doing my duty. When it was time for night to fall, the full moon failed to bring light. Even areas that had seen a pale sun in the day could see no moon at all. No moon, no stars. It was the darkest night anyone had seen. Some people could not sleep and waited through the long hours to see if the sun would ever rise again. They witnessed its return the morning of May 20th, 3 days later. That's what it looks like. Many observed the anniversary a year later as a day of fasting and prayer. Professor Samuel Adams of Harvard gathered reports from throughout affected areas to seek an explanation. All right. Now, that was one article about it, right? And I mean, I didn't think anything of it when I first read it, but then it seemed like accidentally, I guess if you call it a coincidence or what, this vision that had been actually published in a publication was called Christian Truth Center. All right. And the title of its vision of sun going down at noon and earth darkening in broad daylight. So somebody actually had a vision about this going to happen in the future. And I know that changes with the sun, especially right now, are very possible because, our entire solar system is being affected, right? So the article reads as such: this is a vision of sun going down at noon and earth darkening in broad daylight, going the rest of the day from noon with no sunlight, as revealed to me on August 2011 after the moon turning blood prophecy. Time and day is coming, and here it is, when the world is going to wake up early in the morning, amazed, mesmerized, and in fear. World clocks will be ticking morning, but the sun will come out at a different position from its usual east. The sun will appear in the evening position, shining brightly as though it is in the east side, rising up. On the eastern side, black heavy clouds will cover the skies, and people on the world will see many lines of rainbows. Immediately after the world sees the sun shining brightly, the sun will start darkening. With a short period, the sun will turn black, invisible, and emitting no light to the world, and go down on west set. Remember that all this will happen in the morning. Therefore, the world will face the rest of the day from noon with no sunlight. Fear will strike every person on earth. The whole world will be astonished, and news all over the world will be of this heavenly sign. World scientists, doctors, weathermen, and all learned men will try to explain this phenomenon in their way, but no person will believe them. Every person will run and open their ears to those who God will have empowered at that instance, and the entire world will listen to them, and many will be saved. So I thought that was really wild, right? Let's take a look at the comments section real quick. I see that we've got quite a few people on here, and I'm very glad to see all of you. Very, very glad. Let me see if I can get the right mouse. Where'd I put it? I'm working two computers, because the other one obviously doesn't want to give me sound. So I have to do my research on one and live stream on another, hence the glasses. I'm nearsighted. Okay, so we are looking at hello, Mark Rufner, Julie Tattison, Taylor, Off Grid, Tony Light, Shiny Rock Star, and 10,000 Lakes BC, Suzanne. Very good to see everybody. Gates has an agenda to black out the sun to stop global warming. That's crazy. Did you see that article that came out that was talking about the cleaner air is heating up the earth? I was like, that is not true. We all know it. Things are heating up underneath our feet, but they'll try to blame it on anything but the truth, right? Sixth seal. There you go. That's what I'm looking at too. Yes, Tony, it has been a minute. Maybe I could get some prayers from y'all, because I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't feel good. Every day I wake up and I just feel so exhausted, and like I just can't get going, and it's getting worse every day, and I really don't know why. Starting from the beginning to see what I missed. Much love to you. And Suzanne. Oh, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Everybody's so sweet here. Everybody. And you can see more signs in the earth. Okay. Like, wasn't it India that just had a glacier break off a mountain, take out a dam, and a whole bunch of people? Landslides were going to be part of that. And then it's not just that we're having earthquakes, because we've always had earthquakes. It's where we're having them and what kind of earthquakes. Okay. And we've been seeing some in some pretty interesting places, because the Ring of Fire, you would expect that, right? But you might not expect a 3.3 earthquake just east of San Antonio in a little town called Smiley, right? And I looked, And it's only 158 miles west of Houston, and it is west of Houston, or 2.5 hour drive, because it's a 3 hour drive to San Antonio, right? We had a 3.3 there. That's pretty amazing. There's also, here, let me get the other mouse here. Isn't that crazy when you have to play with two mice? Is that two remotes? See, let's pull up this little file here. I probably should have done that before, but that's okay. It's not that hard to get to. There we go. All right. So I decided to go ahead and take a look at and see where a lot of these booms have been hitting, right? And they're worldwide, as you might suspect, okay? Like Indonesia, the UK, Australia, and the Middle East. When it came to United States, I got through Seattle, Utah, Florida, Michigan, California, Kansas that recently had a boom, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Tennessee, Arizona that was recent, Southern Arizona, North Carolina, Colorado, Alabama. And that's when I pretty much stopped and said, okay, pretty much the entire United States is having these loud booms, right? Which tells you that, like I was saying in previous videos, that the United States is under a lot of pressure under our feet. But what I also found interesting was that Texas always seems to be kind of one of those states where people think maybe not a whole lot is going on. But the truth is, there is. These loud booms are going on all over Texas. I'm talking Southeast Texas. Let me see where. There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. Southeast Texas, South Texas, North Texas, West Texas. Pretty much the entire state has been going through all of these really loud booms. And as usual, they can rule out the military. They can rule out, explosions of some kind, whether they're in mines, but they will do anything, but they can't explain exactly what it is. All right. So I just want y'all to know that if you're in Texas, don't just necessarily think that, okay, you haven't heard anything. I'm telling you, there's something wrong. In fact, it looked like just over the last 24 hours, West Texas had a little swarm going on. These quakes in Texas are getting more powerful. All right. And then you add the booms with that. We have sinkholes all over Houston. We had a few years ago methane coming up right out of Houston. Like there was some bar, people had to be evacuated, and it was just coming up from out of the ground. And what they say about Houston is that if we were having quakes, that we probably wouldn't feel them because of all the water underneath us. But that wouldn't mean that we're not having them. But we are having the signs that things are not stable in that area. Yep. Okay. Underground nuclear testing all over the state. I don't know about that. Dominoes, right. Right. And now they're really starting to talk about precrustal displacement, which, we've discussed in my videos before. Major stuff going on in the earth. Absolutely. We had a boom here in Chattanooga, January 25th. Wow. Be very, very careful. In some of these places, now we don't know which ones they'll be yet, but I suspect it might have something to do with the places that are having these booms. But when land is under a lot of pressure, there's a thing called liquefaction, okay? And in some cases, when you see earthquakes, you'll see water coming up from out of the ground like it's making a new pond or something. A lot of water, okay? There are certain signs that I want you to start paying attention to in your area. Okay, go ahead and research and find out if there have been booms, if there are earthquakes, if your roads are cracking. All right. Now, I wanted to go back to the 1780 event for just a minute because they were saying that there was some kind of film that ended up all over everything, too. And we know that we've had red dust land in Europe before, and there was another case later, but it just wasn't talked about that much in the news. So I just wanted to at least bring that up. Okay. We had a boom here in Chattanooga, started using an earthing mat, and my symptoms were extremely alleviated. Major stuff. People saw flash of light with it. Right. Yes. That's Yes, 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 yes. Okay, when you see that flash of light with the boom, that's the earth releasing a lot of the energy that is being, the earth is being bombarded. It has to release it somehow. So now you know those areas are really not safe. You can look for sinkholes in those areas now. Just cars going ka-chunk. Okay, right? Lightning, but I feel better in the night. Right, 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 right. And then there was a whole bunch of pigeons that were found dead recently. You've got to watch for those signs. So it looks like, I mean, we're already figuring out now there's a lot going on in space. And, Earth Changes was talking about the Trojans coming in, or asteroids, debris, right? And I actually saw an article last night that was talking about a Trojan asteroid or meteor that had been spotted. Okay. So it's already starting. He's saying that it's supposed to start somewhere in between March, anywhere from March to May, that we'll really start seeing these impacts, and we're already starting to see them. And I just really wish I felt better. I'm so sorry. I can't seem to just have the energy that I used to. But what we should do super fast is at least take a good look at the earthquakes. Now, I am looking at USGS, and I know that they are not showing everything that they should. All right, Texas, it's definitely got some big ones. I mean, for us anyway. We already know that the west coast of the United States is lit up. So according to USGS, they've got it looking like this is just a normal day. All right, when we've actually got all the dormant volcanoes waking up. So if you have a volcano in your area, North Florida, that you thought was dormant, chances are it's not anymore. Okay. Hello, Watchman. I'm glad you were able to make it. You're not done yet, SS. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. The usual spot. You're not done yet. Usually, who, where, how. Right, 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 right. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. All right. Now, I'm also hearing that, well, there was a commenter saying that on one of my videos saying that, yeah, there are people that already know what's coming on this earth, and they're just preparing. They're just not telling us. So it's up to us to put these pieces together. All right. And because I just don't feel good, you guys. I have to go. I really need to lay down, but I really didn't want to just leave y'all hanging like that, and not come on and talk to you about something. But I'll try to get better, and you know, hopefully come on tomorrow. But I love y'all, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I just encourage you to hit like, subscribe, and I will. Oh, I know that wasn't for me. I figured that out. Yeah, we can talk about the job tomorrow if you want. Okay, guys. Love y'all. Bye.